I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call us up making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Lo, time to bring the bass bird.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't. Hey, cause he gave me patience. Hey, swear that all makes sense. A bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Hey, I know we the ones that ain't them. Move our hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates, how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver. But I'm still a hot boy, cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a faucet. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the gang, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. And the Mile High air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready? 15, Ronnie. 59. Let's go. Check that.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throwing on second down. Jones gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Here's Jones operating from the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Jet bomber. Hey, team 6. Hey, lock it.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. They find some open field here. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Watch the run. Check 99. Check 99. Back. Slam.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jones throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Back to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And out of bounds. This will depend on where they spot it, and they'll say at the 45. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Come on, set, 8, read. Hey, man, watch the boot.
To throw on 2nd down. Malone, he's going to float this one deep right side. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now it's Miller. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Lamar Miller. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Miller. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
Check, hop. Go. Switch. Mike's 50. Man, I got you. Man.
They'll try and run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Kareem Hunt stops short of the sticks. And the Broncos will take over on downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Running with Kamara. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
To throw on 3rd down. Malone. He finds his target, Royal. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Tackles.
Kamara. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
I'm coming after you.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Nick Bosa in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And this one is right down the middle. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now Jones throwing to start the drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And that'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Raiders on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Jones. This one taken in by the former Baylor Bear, Jalen Hurd. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
44, Mike, 44. Know your job.
Jones now throwing on 1st down. That one is caught by Hunt. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Going for Hurd on the deep ball, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he completes it to Hunt. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Jones on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller. His first touchdown of the new season as they are now on the board here in the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Throwing to start the drive. Malone, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Back to throw. Malone, and he's going to go down again. Nick Bosa, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Nick Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Take it at the 37. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Raider first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Goodwin able to haul it in. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 25-yard line.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. A give right side now to Hunt. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's third and goal. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And his kick is good. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. Couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
58, boys, 58, 58, Mike.
On first and 10, Malone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Looking to throw. Malone. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Throwing on 3rd and long. Malone. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. A final shot before break. Malone. And this is going to be incomplete. So we have reached halftime here at a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
It's just me and you.
From the gun, Malone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. Here's Jones on 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They run with Hunt, and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
From the 27, Jones, and that'll be incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's third down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Throwing, Jones. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a fourth down situation.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Malone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
31 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Elsewhere around the NFL, they're in the third quarter in Carson. The Chargers have just scored, so they've taken the lead in that ball game. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Throwing on 1st down. Jones on the move to his left. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 1st down, Jones. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Just like that.
They'll run. This is Hunt. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Now Jones. shreds the tackle. Dancing to his left. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
Back to throw. Jones. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Kareem Hunt. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Malone, blitz coming, and down he goes. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. From the gun, Malone. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this will be caught at the 30. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 55 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. Operating from the gun. Malone, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking to throw. Malone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Broncos on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. Back to throw. Malone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A Raider first down, 17 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. This is Hunt. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready? 22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers. Kill, kill, kill. Big trip. Big trip.
Looking to throw. Jones out to his left. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
They'll run it here with Hunt. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Oakland, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Broncos,